All right, what's up? This your girl, K. Wilt.
I'm Sir.
And we are here with 2020 Podcast, and we have 3 guests on the show, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. So we have Lady,
Kasey,
and Bree.
And we're going to open the show with a poem from Kasey today. Kasey is a poet as well as Lady, so they're both going to give us poems, but Lady's going to close us out with one, and then we're going to break into the topics. We're ready for you, Kasey.
I want to spoil you in a way you've never been spoiled before. I'm talking more than fancy dinners, more than opening doors. I want to take your mind out of space, make you think things you never thought. Show you that's more than love show you that's more love than material, teaching you things you've never been taught. I'll be patient with you, slow and gentle. I love the way you look, but I'm in love with your mental. So many ways I desire to express my love. It's like choosing from an endless buffet, but I'll make sure the feeling is different. Give you a different taste of love every day. Rubbing your feet just because. Massages while you watch TV. Different songs of love. I let my voice be the CD. I'm willing and eager to always please you, letting you know you're all I need. Always checking you out when you get dressed. You're the only woman I see. Just relax and know that this is real. You'll have my love for a lifetime. You didn't come too early or too late. You came in my life at the right time.
Look, snap.
Yeah, I was
it up.
Fumbling the ball for a minute.
Okay. Kasey, I look at your poems on Facebook often, and I'm like, when we had a conversation before in a group setting where they were like the women were falling at your feet. When that lady said that, I said, well, if you read the stuff he posts on Facebook, no wonder they falling at his damn feet.
That was a little bit of an exaggeration.
I know, like your poems just make you just say, oh my God, well, where is this guy?
If they are there, I'd have missed the memo.
It's not hard when you present stuff like that for a female to fall at a guy's feet. But the problem now is guys are presenting that, but they are not actually doing that. You know,
that's true.
And when they don't do that, it makes the female draw back. Because now you got, this guy said he's gonna do this, but when we go out on a date, he's not doing any of that. So now I'm drawing back from all guys, you know, not just this guy, but all guys. And females have to get to a point where we can't allow one guy to set the standard for all guys.
That's true.
Which is now happening. You say you heard that?
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, because if we allow one guy to set the standard for all guys, we'll never date. We'll never go out on a date with anybody because no guy is the same. I mean, I have dealt with from dealers to killers to
You name it.
I done dealt with them all. So it's like I done dealt with the nice guy who's supposed to, you know, do all the good stuff, but he was the cheater. You know, I've dealt with the dealer. The dealer who, you know, was supposed to be this bad guy, but he was actually the nice guy. He just had a bad lifestyle. So, you know, I've dealt with a multitude of guys, but in dealing with that, you learn so much from each. You take so much from each individual guy. So, you definitely don't want to just say, all guys are going to treat me bad. I've never had the guy to beat on me, but I've had a very aggressive guy. You know, so you can't say that all guys are alike. Just like guys can't say all females are alike.
Right. Oh, I hate that statement.
Me too. Y'all get that too?
Y'all female,
don't group me in that.
No,
don't do that. Mm-mm.
I mean,
I think it's easier to do that when you've given up. I don't think it's a matter of disrespecting y'all. I think they're just saying, from my experience. Sorry, that song messed me up. I'm like, that's the Eagles. Hotel California. I meant to turn that thing off. But anyway, I just feel like it should be the clarifying statement that all the females that I've dealt with in this particular period are the same and not what I hope to be. And I feel like we have to be responsible enough to clarify that statement. It's like an improper sentence, you know, like it's an overgeneralization because it's not really true, but we're still feeling some type of way, so we just let it slide or we let people vent about it. But we need to get to a point where you're old enough to be like, yeah, all of them ain't crap. It's just the ones that I've dealt with ain't crap. You know?
Right. The ones that I'm attracting at this moment or in this season in my life.
Yeah.
You know, because it could be just that season you're attracting that type of person, but it's for a lesson.
That's true.
And a lot of times we miss the lesson because we're not focused on that. We're so in love or lust or whatever that we miss the lesson in that. So we can't categorize everybody, which it happens so often. I hear so many women, they have given up on love, they have given up on dating because one particular guy is in their inbox, what you doing, them to death, or hey beautiful to you to death. I get hey beautiful, what you doing, dick pics, I get them all in my
Dick in
inbox
the
on
box.
a regular
Day.
on a regular.
That's my jam,
But
by
if
the way.
if I categorize all guys into those guys, I won't date. I won't date anybody. Because
Honestly,
I'm telling you, they come on a regular.
it's easy because I feel like everybody like emotionally has a certain amount of room
Yeah.
per se. And then with each unsuccessful investment, you lose some of it, you lose some more, you lose some more. But if you're not taking from those experiences and learning from them, you're not getting that bit of rope back. See, I might have lost time with you, but I got a lesson behind it. So now I know to cut this type of person out. Let me go out there again. It's kind of like fishing. That's all it is.
It is.
Okay, like this water ain't getting me nothing but minnows. Okay, pick up my stuff. Sometimes
Go
you gotta
somewhere
uproot yourself, go to a new area in life, mentality or spiritually, physically. Like and sometimes it's just not the season. Sometimes being you is just good
can't
enough at that
force
time.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't force it. You got to look into yourself sometimes and see what you're throwing out into the universe to attract certain people. You know, if your life ain't in the right place, you don't need to be going and effing up anybody else's stuff. Their stuff can be together, you know?
You know, and you said that you attract certain people. You know, I do Wild Wednesday, or used to do Wild Wednesday. I stopped putting it on my regular page. I'm gonna put it more so in my group. Wild Wednesday is the sex questions. You know, I love Wild Wednesday too,
like,
but
just
it's
tag
the
me in
sex
everything.
questions that I post on Facebook. Anything pertaining to sex, anything anybody send me in my inbox. But I stopped putting them on my personal page because the inboxes went crazy. I went from being attacked by church folk to being attacked by guys in my inbox thinking all the questions were about me. To me being told I'm never going to get a husband posting questions like that, blah, blah, blah. Well, I stopped putting them on my personal page because, first of all, I don't want the attacks in my inbox.
Right.
So let me just create this group, which the group was already created a long time ago. I will.
We have fun.
Get your
I
soul
will.
ready. Get your soul ready.
We have so much
Real.
fun. And I have 0 cents.
Yeah, it gets really, really wild in the group. But I prefer it in a group setting like that for more open-minded people versus the people that are closed-minded that are going to always inbox me ridiculous questions. You know? Yeah.
Now, see, that's crazy to me because, I mean, truth be told, speaking from somebody who's heavy in the church, I mean, that's the people act like that, but I mean, honestly, we're some of the biggest freaks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just being real,
right.
and sometimes we try to have that poker face, like, oh, oral sex, no, never. The devil is a lie.
Oral sex, never. Anal sex, they don't want any type of sex. It's got to be traditional missionary or not at all. Or is I'm not having sex till I get this person in my life. I don't have casual sex. Okay. Well, you know, if that works for you, that's cool. You know, if it works for you. And I'm not saying that, you know, because they want to base it on the biblical principles. They want to base it on the 10 Commandments, blah, blah, blah. The people in the Bible were not able to live up to the 10 Commandments. Oh, I'm sorry. Were not able to live up to the 10 Commandments. But, okay, if you want to base it on that, cool. You know, if that's what you want to do, cool. If that's how you live your life, I'm okay with that. I'm not knocking people who are church folk. I'm not saying Christians, because I just feel like there's a difference.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, church folk are those judgmental people who attack people for being human. You know, being human. You got preachers who can't even live. I'm just
And ain't.
You got preachers who preach in the pulpit every Sunday, but they cannot live up to that, and they don't want to talk about sex in the church, but sex in the church happens.
And that's why, I mean, literally and figuratively.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It happens on a regular. I know people that say they'll have sex in the church. I posted that question one day actually. And I got attacked for that question.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, ooh, I ain't taking
I just kept on.
I got attacked for that question, but I mean, it happens. It happens on a regular basis because people want to be. If you want to admit it, there are preachers who have sex with the parishioners.
Oh yeah.
And they're married.
Oh yeah.
You know, they haven't been exposed, but it happens. And some, and you're right, some have been exposed, whether they're gay or whether they have outside babies or whatever. But they have
Happened
been
recently
exposed.
to me, and I'll never bring up my occupation again. But this just happened last week. I had a gentleman call, had a little issue with his billing info, so he called me and I called him back, and it was funny. He put me on speakerphone. So that's what you don't do.
No.
When I have to do personal business, don't put me on speakerphone, and don't antagonize me either, because I'm gonna make you look like a fool professionally. That way I keep my job. And
Right.
So what happened was, all right, Jeremy, I got something going on my account. Can you tell me what's what? Sure. Let's look at it. Whoop-de-whoop. It was like, y'all saying I got some subscription on there. I don't know anything about it. All right, let me look at your account. And I warned him. I said, well, it does appear to be a bit personal. You know, perhaps we should, talk in private about it. I hear in the background, no, we open. We're a church family. We do everything. All right, bro.
You
All
ready?
right, minister. Well, your Grindr subscription. Now, to those of you who don't know what Grindr is, if you're familiar with Tinder is a hookup app where you meet people that you want to do.
But Grindr,
Grindr is the same thing, but with males
wow.
only.
only males.
So when I said that, he didn't catch on initially. He said, "What is that?" Now I got to give the description.
Oh,
I got to, and there's a description bar I have to read from. I said it out loud. All I heard was, "Oh Lord," and I heard, somebody fumbling to do something. All I heard was,
Trying to pick up
bruh, it was hilarious. I'm saying to myself, bruh, all you had to do was get me on speakerphone. You've been straight. He was like, no, I don't know nothing about that. It has to be some kind of glitch. I'm like, well, sir, I can tell you the date and time that you did it, even the device. Your device name is such and such and such and such. I went into the whole spiel because at this point I have to, because now you're claiming fraud.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you're lying, and you're fronting, and I'm exposing your lie in front of your church family. So moral of the story, just be real. Like just be honest. Like,
Exactly.
like it hurts less if you just real about it.
Yeah.
Like whatever you going through, like don't even, because honestly it says in the Bible, what's done in the dark will come to light.
and it definitely does. Unfortunately, it
And
may
sometimes
not
in the
come
worst
right
way.
back. Right.
At the wrong time for you.
So if you listening, bro, whoever you are, good luck.
Good luck.
I think churches is
too late.
hiring.
He gotta move to a whole different
That man got to move
region.
to Omaha.
He needs to move to a region, a
Real
different
life.
region.
Man.
Oh gosh, that's crazy. So Kasey, you mentioned that you were heavily in the church, and being heavily, I used to be very, very, very active in church, and when people talk about church hurt is the worst hurt. It was hard for me for many years to even get back, which I haven't joined a particular church yet, but I do step out and go to different churches. But in the church, when it comes to sex and relationships, why do you think that's so hard for them to talk about in the church?
Because they don't know how to do it, so they feel like the only way you can talk about sex is by promoting it, and that's what they feel like they're doing. Like, if we're talking about it, we'll get them curious, and it's better you learning from somebody responsible than out here learning from somebody irresponsible.
Okay.
But they just don't know how to go about talking about it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what's hurting, because they're like, okay, they don't talk about it, so we just gonna find out on our own and do, you know what I'm saying, do our own thing. You know, so that's just how I look at it. And some people, they just want to act like nobody ain't having sex. Like, oh, my congregation is 100. We don't have sex. Everybody that is underage are virgins, and everybody's married. We're missionary.
When their daughter pop up pregnant, what happened?
Immaculate consent.
We have all fallen short. We ain't gonna hear that right now.
Now you want to say
You fell on it, but
it might have been long, actually, not short. Not short. Because I ran into that situation. Actually, it was a family that I knew. They were, oh my God, holier than thou family. And their daughter was a teenage mother. You know, and now it's, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, you should have been talking about it. You know, you should have been having a conversation. I think people try to shield their children from so much and try to drown them in spirituality, drown them in religion.
there you go.
Drown them in, you know, what the word says, but you got to teach them. The Bible is a teaching tool. You know, we're not going to go into that, but it's a teaching tool. You know, they had sex in the Bible. And they had unwed sex, concubines, and everything in the Bible.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
These people were sleeping with any and everybody. If you are reading the Bible and you're actually studying the Bible, then you would know that. So you know that you got to teach this so that they'll know. Them people had to be taught too.
But it ain't even so much. It gets to a point to where you try to shield people to where you actually blind them.
Yeah.
And I use this example, like I used to go to Heart of Mary. And Heart of Mary, real small school. You know what I'm saying? So I was in
Probably
that
about 8
box.
people in the classroom.
Yeah, I was in that box. We had 3rd and 4th grade in one class. My 4th grade, 3rd and 4th grade was in one
They
class.
were 4 and 3rd, 4 and 8.
So I was boxed in because it was little, it was minimal stuff to do. But when I got to Dunbar, my 6th grade year, man, I lost my mind. I'm like, man, look at all this stuff to do. I mean, art, all that different stuff. And my focus, because I was blinded, you know what I'm saying, by just the little small stuff. But when I got to that school with all this other stuff I've never heard about, and I'm like, man, I lost my mind.
Right.
So if you shielding them like that and not telling them nothing about that about sex, when they get into that atmosphere, they gonna lose their mind.
Lose it.
They gonna lose their mind. You better tell them about it now, because man, it's just so much, because they're gonna learn about it anyway.
Right.
So your best bet is to go ahead and be like, tell them, like, hey, I was your age once. I did X, Y, and Z. I'm not perfect. But if you're gonna do X, Y, and Z, these are the repercussions if you do that. You know, because as perfect as we want our children to be, they're gonna do some things that we don't approve of. Whether it's listening to music, whether it's sex, whoever they hang with, they're gonna usually gotta prepare them for, hey, don't do it. But if you do it, be prepared to have this big old horse coming behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies, what do y'all think about the churches not actually talking about sex, like, period? They just don't.
You go ahead.
I think it is a very negative advantage. They don't want to talk about it. All they want to tell you is, don't have sex. Well, why? You're like a 3-year-old. Why? You need to explain to these people why, just like he was saying, the consequences. So when they do pop up pregnant because somebody told them why, then they shun them. Oh, you out there in them streets. Well, you should have told me about them streets before I left off the steps. How about that?
Right. And then when they shun them, this is what you got to do. Now you got to get up in front of the church and apologize.
For what?
This was me. When they told me that, y'all.
They told you that?
Oh, no.
I was 21.
I heard about this thing, but I didn't think it was true.
I was 21.
Wow.
Now, it wasn't the actual pastor who told me, but it was a lady in the church who was an older lady, blah, blah, blah. I was 21. I was unwed. Who cares about the 21 of being unwed? But first of all, I'm not finna get up and apologize to sinners for my sin. I'm not finna do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that. So if you don't want me to work here in the church doing what I was doing before, then I'm cool with that. Okay, I won't. But I'm not gonna get up and apologize to sinners for my sin.
I would ask them how many of their children were born before they got married and watch how they shut up.
Not even the children.
How many they had? And first, y'all don't get me started.
I know.
That's a whole nother topic. But
I think, ostracizing people is one of those traditional situation things. And Tonda and I have had the conversation a long time ago on Barbershop Talk of traditions versus progression. And a lot of times people, well, this is what we did back then. Okay, this is what y'all did back then.
this is
We're
what
not
we do
in
now.
1914 anymore. We're not in 1930.
It don't work.
Right.
Like, even the Bible had levels of progression. And that was even pushed back then. Remember what they said about Mary? Everything that occurred. And she was just kicking it with her.
Right.
Look at her history, and all she did was obey, and they was still hating on her.
Yeah.
So same thing here. If you feel ostracized outside of that church, that's not your family. God is not in that.
Right.
God is not going to ostracize you no
Right.
matter what. God is love.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
And now, a solution that I've seen done, and I commended the church for doing this. True, the church preached against, premarital sex. But what they also did, they had a health fair. That's the easiest thing in the world you can do. You go to the health department, hey, come to our church, come to this building on this date, bring everybody you can. And all you got to do is just sit back and watch. People will walk up to each booth and they will tell you the information. The information is there. Allow yourself to be a vessel for information for the community, not only the word.
And stop shunning people.
Exactly. Just make yourself open to every avenue possible. Like if it's gonna educate your audience, your saints, do it. Like what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I feel like the church feels like it's an entity now separate from the community. It's okay to be separate from the world, but the church is of the community.
Right.
True.
Right.
So it's inexcusable. So now I feel like progressive people, even-minded people have to claim the church back. I hate to say it this way.
Right.
You have to get rid of this thought of tradition and kind of move the church along. Like the church can't be stuck in the past. It's not.
Right.
It's not going to work. It's going to turn
You can't
people
continue
off.
to do stuff the same way.
You're going to lose more than you put in by doing that.
Exactly.
You're going to look around. There's going to be 8 people in the church. And 6 of them related.
Right. Right.
So if you really want to reach out to the community, reach out to the community. Like,
Change
be
your
real.
approach.
This is what's going on.
Change the approach. That's
Got
a good.
to.
That's awesome. Change the approach. Now, we went to a singles conference last weekend.
It was awesome.
It was amazing, guys. When I tell you it was amazing, I didn't know what to expect walking in there because I'm like, oh my God, we going to a singles conference at a church, which I knew it was going to be different because it was Kasey, and when he invited me, I was like, oh, this going to be different. This ain't going to be like, the rah-rah, them church folks that's always hounding you about, sex and don't want to talk about sex, all that. It's not that. So, shout out to the other moderator, Miss Johnny Fitz. Man, she is amazing. She will be on the show soon. But she talked about the equally yoked perspective of, how people view equally yoked. How do y'all view the equally yoked when it comes to relationships? What do y'all think about that?
Ladies first.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet because I attend.
We-
Myself, Kasey,
Yeah.
and Kay Wood, we attended it. So we're really reaching out to y'all to what you feel about it. Honestly,
I mean, the first thing I think about is spirituality first,
of course.
and then we go into the mindset of things. How you think, how you pick apart situations, how you react to stuff.
Not
So that's-
necessarily. I mean, when you're referring to that, are you referring to relationships?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, relationship.
Okay, so you're saying that it's outside of just a spiritual standpoint.
It's just spiritually yoked. Being spiritually yoked with a partner. Is that what you're saying?
I guess so.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so I personally know a person who claims to be an atheist. Weird part is, years ago he was a Baptist minister, preached in churches, married people, and all of that. And all of a sudden he became an atheist. And he's kind of nasty sometimes on Facebook, and I have to say I know he's just trying to get, his shits and giggles off. So I stopped responding so much to him. But one thing I couldn't understand was his wife was a Christian. Now ex-wife, they've split up. I don't know all the details behind it, but I never understood how that kind of household could work, being so unequally yoked. A believer versus a non-believer, where the wife would go to church on Sundays and he would sit at home and watch porn and crack jokes on Christians on Facebook all day. So I never understood how that worked. I personally could not
Talk
do it.
about opposites attract.
Man.
Very,
So that's like two totally different.
like,
totally in
Earth and
a
Mars.
spectrum. Right.
It just sounds like they roommates at the end of the day.
That's just kind of what it felt like. I don't know. They had a child together. They were in love. They were always, out and participating. I want to pull it to the side. Like, how do you deal with this at home?
Let me probe a little bit there. So, was he an atheist when they got married, or
Yes.
Wow. So how did
Exactly.
you even?
So he.
So she
know a
saw.
marriage-
I think she may have seen something in him beyond him being a non-believer or a
That's
former
But
believer.
a marriage involves
You,
the
you
guy
got
you
the-
don't believe. I'm
Right.
confused.
I am too.
I'm not.
I'm confused.
It just, to me,
How
in
you
my
just
mind, it
subtract
does
all
not
of-
go together. I can't.
But what you said first is very intriguing to me. He was a Baptist preacher first.
He actually
before
used
he
to be
became
a
an atheist?
minister. Yes, he used to believe, and he can quote scripture like the best of them.
Even
Still,
Satan can.
She saw
Exactly.
She saw beyond what he was. That's why she married him. She saw beyond. Not that they were supposed to be together, but she did. She saw beyond what he was. She saw beyond him being an atheist. She knew, because even with him going from being a Baptist minister and an atheist, then going to being an atheist, I think she saw deep down that there still is a spiritual connection with him. Now he may have had some church hurt, some
Got to
some
be.
Yeah.
he may have
Say, "I ain't down
had
with God no
something
more,"
in
so,
there that hurt him so bad, and she thought that she could reach him, but it wasn't for her to reach.
No.
No, you can't. No.
It wasn't for her to reach, and she may have thought that, if I married him, I can reach him and get him back on track, because she knew she had to know that he was a Baptist minister before
Right.
that.
Yeah.
He told her at some point, and he probably quoted scripture to her. I see it on Facebook all the time that there are so many people who have been hurt by church, or hurt by ministers in church, or hurt by what they see that man did, instead of looking beyond the man. Because you got to look beyond the man. The message comes through the man. He's just a vessel, right? So it comes through the man. It doesn't come from him per se, but you got to look beyond the man, because they're human. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna say what they want to say. They're gonna do all kind of stuff. Jesus hung with all kind of people, thugs, dealers, killers,
Man.
prostitutes.
Yes, he did.
Everything. He
They
hung
were
with
the
them
truest.
all. So she saw beyond that, but her fault in it was she thought that she could heal his hurt, and it wasn't for her to heal. So that's why she married him. But so what do y'all think on the unequally yoked? That's interesting that you say that. But when we go into more in depth about unequally yoked, it'll come out what we're getting at. But Kasey, come on, give us your thoughts on the unequally yoked
I mean,
or equally yoked, whichever.
we pretty much, as far as society, we pretty much painted a picture on what we believe equally yoked is by what we see. And like I give y'all examples at the conference, like we see Russell Wilson and Sierra as equally yoked or a power couple. We see Jay-Z and Beyonce as equally yoked and a power couple. We see who else? Michelle Obama and Barack Obama as an equally yoked couple from what we see. But the thing about it is you got to know who you are. You can't base what you believe is equally yoked off of what others are. Because a lot of people didn't say they want that. Even when Meghan married the prince. Oh, I'm not selling no more. My prince out there. You know, that ain't for you. No. Everybody ain't meant to marry no prince. No. You know what I'm saying? Everybody meant to marry.
We would like to, but that ain't for us.
That ain't your lane. Like I said, you got to stay
exactly.
in your lane.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. Even with her marrying that prince, so much other stuff is coming along with that.
You gotta.
You don't want that.
You might lose yourself.
You might not be equipped to handle it.
You know what I'm saying? You may like to hang with your girls.
There
you know what I'm saying? Every other weekend. You ain't finna do that hanging with Prince.
Nah.
You gonna be cooped up with him.
Because Queen coming right behind. That ain't it.
Nah,
you gotta change this outfit,
right,
baby.
right.
We don't wear
some
jeans.
Get some of that tea and biscuits. Look, some
Right.
tea and biscuits.
We don't wear shorts.
I don't care for that Shantae lady.
She's rather got slick. Man, better be careful what you're asking for.
Yeah, definitely.
But even in my last marriage, we were both in the church, so we were equally yoked on that level. But spiritually, like I was here and she was there. You know, so it didn't work out. No matter how many times I prayed, no matter how many counseling sessions we had, no matter how much all I slung on our pictures or whatever like that. If you can be equally yoked as far as okay, both y'all involved in the church, but if y'all not on the spiritual level, you're gonna part ways because it's gonna be frustrating to you. It's kind of like it's a draining process on you.
Now to piggyback off of that, I was married as well, y'all. Spiritually, my ex-husband was nowhere near on no level equally yoked ever. I don't know if that man even knew what church was. Y'all, this man came to church drunk.
Wow.
Bible study drunk. I'm sitting in there. I couldn't do nothing but cry. I was like, is this fool drunk? I'm like, y'all, it was so embarrassing. I felt like he was Ned the Wino. I can laugh about it now. It's funny to me now because now that I think about it, I'm like, Ned the Wino really showed up at church. Like, y'all, it's funny now, but then it wasn't so much as funny to me. It was more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Than anything because I was actively involved in the church, blah blah blah. But you know, and it's still in our church folk. You need to try to work it out with your husband and go sit by your husband. I'm not going to sit by that nigga. I don't care if he is in church. This nigga drunk in church and you want me to go sit by him. Matter of fact, let me go and pack my shit up because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let him stay here. I'll talk to pastor in Bible study and I'm gonna leave.
Man.
Y'all gonna have it. But that was my whole, you know, that okay. So unequally yoked. Let's get back to that. So I'll take that somewhere else. Go ahead.
No, I would. Honestly, I'm a little bit speechless because there was so much from, and I wish y'all could have been there. It was absolutely mesmerizing listening to all the points, and because they posed the question about being equally yoked and what it really meant. And people take it, twist it, bend it, turn it, paint it, like apply it to all these other things when it only applies to one small facet of a relationship, and that's just being religious together in that same aspect. That's all it pertains to. Is nothing else. Other things come down the line with that and you can affect that, but the core being of it is, are you guys spiritually on the same level?
Right.
Point blank period. Are y'all 100 and 100? Or do y'all see the eye to eye on this right here? And if that's not the case, it may work because y'all may force it to work. But in order for it to be godly, in order for it to be prosperous, truthfully, to experience that bliss that it speaks of, when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. Right. If you want to find that good thing, y'all need to be equally yoked. You have to be on the same page. Like you said something that struck to me to this day, bro. You said, I need to know what your prayer game like. That, bruh. How many times have you been somewhere and somebody got asked to pray, even over your food, And people, like really, if
Let me pray on my own food while he doing all that.
on this plate. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro.
'cause let's really think about this. All right, let's say you're incapacitated, right? And you need to get a message to someone really important. Can you trust this person to get your message on your behalf to this person that might be life or death for you?
Right.
Just like you might have a kid. Okay, go tell such and such to go get this. Your kid might tell them, my mama said, you don't want that person praying for you. No, you need that person that understands when you can't speak sometimes what your soul is saying on your behalf. Who can intercede for you to Christ on your behalf effectively.
I need him to be able to, just like I would be able to, I need you to be able to lay your hands on me if I'm hurting and actually have a healing word for that part of my body.
Not even that.
I need you to be able to put your hand on my head if I'm having trouble at work. I need you to be able to pray for me when I get there, so when I get to work, them troubles gone. I need that kind of prayer life.
Strong enough to be mad at each other and still,
be able to
before
pray
you
for
walk
you.
out that door,
Yes.
God bless her, make sure she get there safely.
Yes.
Keep your hand around her. I might be mad at her, and I might flip over a table when she get home.
Or when she leave this house.
She need to get back here safely.
That's right.
Like, can you do that for each other? That's, bruh. I commend you on that, because that my mom. When you said that,
because if you look at it, Job was a man of good faith, right?
Oh yeah.
oh, bruh.
So if we look at what happened when things fell down,
What she
that
said.
showed you where he was at spiritually and
where
where his
she
wife was at
was.
spiritually.
Let's look at what did she say? What
She
did
said,
she say?
why don't you curse your God and die? Look, this was me. I was playing her part. I was like, why don't you just curse your God and die? You know, I'm playing that role of Job. Like, God, if you don't shut up and come out here.
How you gonna throw shade on my God?
She
bruh?
had no prayer game whatsoever.
She had none.
Prayer game, discernment, nothing.
Nothing. She had nothing.
Trash.
I'm gonna have to hit you with that begone thought.
Not to be gone.
So that kind of lets you know, like, I know a lot of people say, well, I want my finances, or they put finances and spirituality right there. I really firmly believe that it's spirituality and then your finance, because Job had it all. That man
He
was
did it
wealthy
all.
of the
Yes.
wealthy. But when he
Yeah.
lost it, you saw what she said, because she had no spirituality. Now she would have had that, baby, it's gonna be all right. Maybe it's
gonna
God
make
testing
it.
you. We finna pray
We gonna
together. We
make it
finna
up.
walk this thing on out.
These claws on
You know what I'm
together.
saying?
Let me go.
Throw these ashes on.
Because, I mean, say I'm low one day. I may be low in spirit. I need my husband to be like, come on, baby. We finna pray right now.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Exactly.
just have to be here for each other and pray.
But let me go and break that down to y'all, y'all coming folk. So you got this man who making all this money. Cause we finna touch on something else that I saw on Facebook when I say this. You got this man who making all this money, right? And he got I'm talking about everything. He got his own business. He driving this fancy car. He got this nice house, blah, blah, blah. But you got a young lady who now has been attracted to him for that. All right, so here we go. This Job and his wife right here. This man loses his job, or let me not say lose his job. He lost all the financial backing that was coming for his business. So he's now bankrupt. He had to get rid of his house. He had to get rid of his car. And now guess what? Oh, you ain't got no more money. You ain't got no more money. All right, babe. I'm gonna holler at you.
You ain't got no more
I'm
money.
gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone. So for you common folk, that's what happened with Job. Job lost everything, and his wife was telling him to curse his God and die. But the same stuff is happening in today's world. Every day. Even with the females, there are females who come to the table with their own money and their own everything. But the minute you lose everything and you're down to nothing, that man is gone. He don't want you no more. It's happening. So keep your eyes open for that. The post, the 50-50 bill thing on
Here we
Facebook.
On my seatbelt.
So let me turn on around. Let me get ready for this one, cause
You know, he
I have I have seen so much negativity just in one night. Because when it first came out, I didn't see it.
I avoided all of those posts like the plague.
Everybody kept saying, they kept seeing it on their timeline. I must don't have ratchets or something on my timeline. I need to get more
It
ratchets.
might be what it is.
I need to get some more
Mine
ratchets.
successfully
What it was.
blocked every
You
ratchet.
need a healthy dose of.
I need to. All right. Well, so I'm gonna start accepting the
50
friend
cc's.
requests from everybody. I'm gonna start accepting all the ratchetness on my timeline because I had to literally type in the search bar 50 bills and pull up people who had public posts about it. All right.
So making this shit up.
Ladies. Men have a lot of stress on them. And we have a lot of stress as well. But when it comes to 50-50 bills, why are y'all mad about that? Why are they mad about that? Why are people angry because we're splitting the bills in our house when we can actually get ahead if we splitting the bills in our house? More can be brought to the table if we are equally taking care of the household. Why are people angry because we are equally taking care? Why do women expect a man to take care of everything? Where did that come from?
Tradition.
It's not
back
like
in the
that
day.
anymore, where they could live off of,
One income.
and you stay home and raise children. That doesn't
What
happen
world is
anymore.
that? I mean, yeah.
The 50s.
Factory
50s from the
factory
50s.
That's a good one. I like
Shit
that.
don't work no more.
It doesn't. It requires 2 incomes to take care of a home.
Yeah.
I struggle. I'm a single parent. I take care of my own household. I don't receive child support or anything. So I struggle to take care of my house. If I'm struggling to take care of my house as one person, I'm sure a 2-income household, man, we could, baby, we will be where you going this weekend, baby? We gone. Me and my husband gone because we done took care of these bills. I'm just saying, we can be gone everywhere.
My
If it's
question,
50-50.
my question is, why is being a team so far-fetched? Like, financially a team?
Yeah.
Like, if I have, like, I think we brought it up during our little lunch. I was saying that if we set a common goal as a team, babe, let's be out of debt in 5 years, both of us. I didn't say, babe, let's take care of my $25,000 and your $45,000. No, I said, babe, in 5 years, let's take care of our debt. Let's get rid of Navient, Sally Mae, and all them. Because I want us to enjoy it. It doesn't matter who's shipping in what amount. It's a team goal.
It's a team effort.
Right.
People have gotten so far from that. Like, if I'm dating you and we're to a point where we're possibly living together, making arrangements financially, and you still got that mentality, I need to reevaluate you. Like you ain't the best for us.
Right.
Not even for me. You ain't the best for us. You ain't putting the team
You ain't
first.
the best for yourself.
You ain't wearing my jersey.
Right.
You ain't the best for yourself.
So if I lose my job, if I get Joe, what is you gonna do?
If I get Joe.
Right.
Trademark that, bro.
Like, come on. Like, I need to know that my co-captain got my back.
Absolutely.
Like, and I feel this way about it. I feel like the source of this is coming from, remember I told you, hurt people can't teach people. And people ain't taking time to learn from these past mistakes. I feel like back in the day, Big Mama got messed over and told her daughter, hey, baby, you take care of you and only you. Don't you worry about nothing else. You let the man take care of you. She took that and told her daughter. She took that and told that daughter because that mindset came from, like we said, somewhere in the 50s. Something happened. The factories got shut down. Financial stress happened. Things went to crap. You divided the nuclear family. So I remember I was blessed enough to know that when granddad wasn't straight, grandma was straight. Baby, I got you. We got this savings over here. Get back on your feet. Take your time off. Do what you need to do. And let's not forget, while we talking about Job, it wasn't that he was hurt financially. That man lost his kids.
Yeah.
So we lost our baby.
He lost everything.
We lost our babies,
Right.
and you still telling me to curse God?
Curse God.
You are wicked.
Yes.
Oh yeah. To
What
the core.
kind of woman are you, bruh? Something that you created, and you want me to curse the source, bruh? Stop, be gone, bruh.
Yeah.
like 100.
gotta
Like
go.
we have to get back to the team mentality, and that's gonna happen when we force people to get outside that mindset. When people see examples of this team mentality, like we talk about it all the time, but I knew a nuclear family was possible when I saw it more. Like we have to put it in the forefront. We can't see social media mess all day. You got to surround yourself with like-minded people who's cultivating the success you're pursuing.
Yeah.
So uproot yourself. If you see a mess all day, if your friend just talking about, girl, my baby daddy ain't nothing. Oh,
Okay.
well, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
Like you deal with that.
I'm not
Don't
finna
bring that
help
to
you with
mind.
that
No,
negativity.
I don't want to. Listen, energy is real. Energy affects moods, vibes, everything.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of relationships where, let's say we're together, right? She might be having a bad day with her guy. She vents to you. Now you mad. Now I come home for her. Hey, baby. Hey. Dang.
What the hell
Yeah.
wrong with you?
What the hell? Like it's too much of that. We need to learn where to mind. Folks need to mind grown folks' business. Stop telling everybody everything, and we touched on that too as well in the little conference. Everybody don't need to know your business. Like that needs to be a box. We need to have a team where it's just us. We close these doors. It's just us talking. That needs to stay that way. The number one connection need to be between me, you, and God. That's it. That's the trifecta.
You always have to keep that door of communication open when you're in a relationship. You can't close a communication door just because you're mad. You gotta be able to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You can't close that door because you're mad. You have to learn how to de-escalate the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? If it takes, baby, okay, let me go take a break. Let me drive off for a few minutes. Let me go sit by the water because that's my calming place. Let me go do something else. And then we can come back to the conversation. But the conversation has to be had.
Yeah.
You can't just walk away from it. We're not going to sleep mad.
Oh, I was just gonna
Oh,
say,
yeah.
I'm not
We
gonna-
not.
heard that.
We not going to bed. If it take us to midnight, and I have to leave and come back, and at midnight you sleep. Come on, let's talk about this. Now that we both calm down, never talk when you're angry. Never have a conversation with somebody when you're angry because all kind of stuff gonna come up. You know, and it's gonna be
Petty.
yeah.
It's that last word effect. We had this opening conversation. We talked for about 20 minutes talking about this illusion of the last word, like winning an argument with two emotional people. No such thing. No such thing. It's just you cutting each other with razor blades that you can't take back.
Yeah.
Because once you say it, it's said.
It's out there.
out there. You can't take it back.
You put that in the atmosphere. So you definitely don't want to do that. But, you know, to go back to the bills, the 50-50 bills, you know, I saw one post and I had to pull it back up. The young lady was like, you know, she wants the man to keep the same energy with the 50-50 bills when it comes to cleaning up the house. Now,
I can respect that.
Now, wait
I
a
can
minute.
respect that.
Oh, okay.
I can respect that.
I can too because a lot of people they've called it now, they call 50-50, they call, oh, you ain't got nothing but a roommate. But I'd rather be a roommate than a slave. Because I've seen where people, where the man has paid for everything and he expects certain stuff, whether you well or whether you sick. He don't care. He'll be like, well, I went to work sick, so when I come back home, whether you sick or not, this house should be clean, these clothes should be folded, these dishes should be washed, these kids should be taken care of, and all that stuff. Do you really want to live under that dictatorship? That you have to do this. You know, it's kind of like y'all prostituting each other.
yeah. Basically.
Well, he's paying all this, so I have to do it. It may be some days where you may not feel like it. You may be tired. You may be sick. You don't feel like cleaning up.
Right.
What's wrong with you come with the man coming in? Hey, why is everything not clean? Oh, baby, I ain't feel well. Okay, my bad. I'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. But it's like they live under that. We live under that guys now to where they want the man. Women want a used to be man, but then they don't want to be the used to be woman. Because then when you talk about staying at home, they're like, well, women have evolved and we're independent now. We have our own job. We're our own CEO. It's like some women want it both ways.
Yeah.
They want the man to be in the 50s, but they want to live in the 2000s.
Right.
And you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta
find some balance.
Balance, exactly.
You gotta find balance. You can't
cherry picking.
Can't expect
That's the
it.
word I was looking for. Cherry picking.
You can't expect that. Now, relationships, you always hear people say relationships are 50-50, relationships are 50-50. Well, I disagree. Relationships are 100-100.
Yes.
You're both coming whole. You are two whole people coming together. So you're 100-100. Everybody's putting in. You know, you putting in your whole self. You know, and God is supposed to be the center of all relationships. But that doesn't always happen. And he's not always in the center because he did not put them two together. But it happens. So relationships are not 50-50. And I don't expect anything to be 50-50 in a relationship if it is 100-100. I expect us both to put in our all into the relationship.
And ladies, listen to this. If y'all help a man, we sticking on the 50-50. If y'all help a man in that 50-50 state and do it genuinely, trust me, he's gonna bust his behind to give you everything that you want and need, and you won't have to do. You ain't got to worry about cleaning the house or any. Well, I ain't gonna say keep it trashy, but that's not gonna be like where you better have it done.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not gonna be like that because when you a team, y'all look out for one another.
Right.
Ain't nothing like saying, okay, babe, we finna go on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I get the flight. Okay, babe, well I got the room.
Right.
Okay, babe, well I get breakfast and lunch. Okay, well I get dinner.
Absolutely.
That's teamwork
makes
the
the dream
dream
work. And that's a true statement in that, because if you got teamwork in anything, that relationships, if you got that teamwork in them relationships, y'all, you can accomplish so much more.
Oh yeah.
So much more. So many people, Jeremy and I was having a conversation about teamwork, and I was mentioning to him, sometimes, you know, you can be a business owner and you may have a person that you're dating or whatever that doesn't want to be a part of your team. That's not effective.
Nope.
That's not effective, because if we're building something together, you gotta want to be a part of what we're doing and what I'm doing. And I feel like this, I'm gonna be a part of what you're doing, you're gonna be a part of what I'm doing, because if we're going to grow together, and this is going to be a part of us, then we definitely gotta be a part of not just us dating, but things that are going on outside of our relationship. So you got spirituality, you got work, you got, you know, anything that's going to help us grow and get to the next level, you got to be a part of it. So it's got to be, it's not, again, 50-50 is not 50-50, it's 100-100. I'm sorry. 50-50 on bills? No. We're both putting in on this. We all got this. You know, gas bills are high, y'all. I'm just saying. You expect that man to pay that whole gas bill, he ain't going to have nothing on his check. Nothing.
Shoot, I had that same energy cleaning. As long as I can listen to music how I want to, I'm good. I get in that zone.
My whole thing with cleaning is, baby, let me get the inside, you get the outside. Because if we got a house, I hate outside work. I'm sorry. You get the outside, I take care of the inside. That's my whole energy on that cleaning part. But
It's
Shoot, cooking too.
oh, let's cook together.
Oh, man. Well, we might
That's
not
all
finish.
it
You know what I'm saying? But
I see what you did there.
yeah, you know.
You did there.
Yeah, it's late.
I love to cook. I love to cook, and I think that's a great bonding
Might not be the
tool.
food on the plate.
Oh, you tippy toe.
The counter has become a bed.
It is.
But I'm just
I like that kind
Y'all.
of stuff, though.
yeah. The cooking is, to me, that is an aphrodisiac for a relationship.
Yes.
It's a great way to connect. A lot of people be like, I don't want him in the kitchen with me. That's a lot. Come on, baby, let me show you how to do this. Or come on, let me
It's
show you how to do
automatically intimate.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's an
wonderful
intimate
bonding
setting.
experience.
Look at
Wonderful.
baby, taste this.
Yes.
It's automatically.
You can make it.
No, not with no spoon now. I need to put on your.
Yeah!
Look at me, this me all in the cake now.
Yes.
To those of you who were just listening, you got women over here using their finger. Ain't nobody. This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
We gonna do this
Ain't no
live one day for y'all.
Nobody.
That is the greatest way to bond. So I mean, you know, I want my man to be involved in everything that I'm doing, as well as me being involved in everything that he's doing. However, I do think, and I say this on every show, I do think that there are times that we're gonna be apart. You go spend time with your boys, I'm gonna go spend time with my girls.
Can you remix that? Can you run it back and sing it again?
Rewind.
You do have to do that. You have to have time apart because, you know, I want you to go on your guy trip. I'm going to go on my girl trip. You know, I want you to go spend time with your guys sometime. You know, y'all may have guys night once a month or twice a month, whatever. And I'm going to go spend time with my girls. You need that time apart. You need that time to miss each other. I strongly believe you need that time to miss each other. Don't, you know, call and text me the whole time you gone. Mm-hmm. But when you're gone, I want you to enjoy yourself. And then you can call and text while you're gone, but don't call me the whole time you're gone. Enjoy yourself.
What you do?
Because when you get back, it's going down. I'm just saying, when you get back, it's going down. Because I missed you too, babe. But I think all relationships need that. You know, you need that time apart, but you also need that time together. You need that intimacy. You need to make sure you keep that fire, keep that spark. Don't allow anything to take away from it. You know,
I kind of got a different viewpoint on that.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing what you're saying, but it's just a little bit different.
okay.
And with me doing things in the community and the church, I definitely want the person for me to be right by my side, you know what I'm saying, along the way.
Right.
But with that being, I know she's still her own person.
Right.
And I know she's going to have things that she's going to need to do,
Individuality.
you know what I'm saying, on her own. Because even though I want us to work as a team, I know God may have a different vision for her. Her vision may not be to help me side by side all the time. He may have something separate, you know what I'm saying, for her. So my thing is, even if you are spending a lot of time together, that's why you have to keep things fresh and new. You just can't be like, oh, I love him and she loves me, and that's gonna keep it through.
Nah.
No, the person I'm gonna be with,
Love's
we're
the
gonna
extra word.
date.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The same way that I did to keep you, that's what I'm gonna keep doing to keep on keeping you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, always going different places. I don't care if it's just going down the street to a coffee shop. Do something new. Don't always sit up in the house all day on the couch, curled like, oh, baby, let's cuddle.
Yeah.
No, let's hit somewhere. Let's take a day trip to New Orleans. Let's take a
Absolutely.
overnight trip to Atlanta or somewhere. Because Mobile is a central location. You don't have no excuses not to go out and enjoy yourself with your mate.
Right.
You ain't got to go always go to Miami or Las Vegas or Jamaica, man. It's so many places around here to where everything can be fresh to you.
Everything.
You know, you can go to Biloxi one day, then go to Pensacola, then go to Destin, you know what I'm saying, then go to New Orleans, then go to Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying, go to Montgomery a little bit, you know, and have fun. But like you just said, I want to be wherever we go, we have fun.
That's right.
Because we have stuff just that fresh to where we can make something that's boring to somebody else. It's like an adventure to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hiking trips are great adventures for couples. A lot of people be like, man, people don't hike.
I would love to go hiking.
My knees can't handle it.
Well, you ain't gotta go hiking. The key to it is just getting out there in the woods.
Yeah.
The key to it is going. You ain't even gotta go on a hike where it has to be you climbing all these mountains and all that
trail.
stuff. You can just find you a nice trail and walk that trail. I'm telling you, so much stuff behind there. This is so crazy. My aunt moved in this house in Atlanta, and we were out playing in the backyard with the kids, and we decided, let's go see what's back here in these woods. But we walked up on the stream. We didn't even know it was a stream. She didn't even know it was a stream back there. But I'm just saying, so much stuff that you can find is back there, and it's a great time to walk, to talk. You know, I mentioned this last week, and I'm gonna mention it again. I hate movie dates. I hate them. And the reason why I hate them is because you don't get that time to talk. You don't get that time, that quality time to to bond. You know what I'm saying? Movie dates are cool once you get in a relationship and you be like, oh, babe, let's just go to the movies. You know, whatever. That's cool. But when you're getting to know somebody, or if you just want to have a conversation with your mate, don't go to the movies. You can't talk to no doggone movies. That's the stupidest date ever to me. That's high school stuff. To me, that's high school
She
dating.
keep looking at me, y'all, while she talking. If y'all tuned in last week.
That's high school dating. Don't do that. Y'all tune in to the previous episode, because my co-host here, I'm
She talked
schooling
about
him.
it.
But yeah, movie dates are not good. I hate movie dates. So, but just go places. Find stuff you can do to talk, to walk and talk, to, you know, just go somewhere, hang out. You know, that you can sit by. I love sitting by the water. Hint, hint, future husband, boyfriend, whatever. Whoever you are, if you're listening, pay attention. Me, I love to go, and water is my favorite thing to do. Anything near some water, buy some water. If it's raining outside.
You going too
There they go
far.
with that rain.
I do. I like to play in the rain too. That's fun. But
I do too. Now that one I am into. Like, even when I was little, I used to get in trouble for that. But I
playing
love
in the
it.
rain, I
Yeah.
love playing in the rain. Yeah, I like to be out in the rain. You get sick, but I'll be out.
That is true.
That's the thing you gotta avoid.
Kasey touched on something, you know, making sure that you keep your individuality. He didn't say it like that verbatim, but how do you keep your individuality when you are in a relationship? What do y'all think?
Honestly, maintain growth. Like, still find things that you're interested in. Like, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean there aren't ventures that you haven't delved into. I mean, that you still aren't growing. For instance, this podcast was one for me, like a huge one. Like, I just started this a year ago, and it's one of the top 3 things I love doing now.
Yeah.
So who knows? It might be something else. I might find out I want to play guitar next year or something. You know, like
That's
you never
one of
know.
my adventures. I can't wait to learn how to play the guitar. I'm excited. When I get married the next time, I'm playing at my wedding. I'm gonna learn about it.
But yeah, just maintain your interest. Like I said earlier, just surround yourself with different people. Like, when you go out to different areas, you'll be exposed to new things. So the curiosity will peak. You know, you're like, I wonder what that's like. And if it's for your growth, go for it. Like, just screw it, try it.
Absolutely. If you have hobbies, if you continue doing the things that you love to do. Never stop doing what you love to do because your mate might not do it. You're gonna have time that you're gonna, be on your own anyway. You gotta keep your individuality.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be able to do things on your own. I hate women who feel like I gotta go be with my man. Dude. I done look at this nigga all night long. I'm just saying. I don't look at him all night long. No, I don't have to be under you. I'm a cuddler. I love to cuddle. I love to be under my man, but I ain't gotta be under you all the time. I don't. There are things that I like to do that you're not gonna want to do.
Soon.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So, what are some other things y'all think that you can do to encourage, our listeners to keep their individuality?
I think it's important not to lose yourself in a relationship. Because I see a lot of times people be like, oh, he like to do this, so I'm going to go do this. And put my goals aside or put my hobbies aside.
No.
I hate to see that.
I think you need to have relationship goals, but I also think you need to have individual goals.
Right.
Very important.
I think everybody needs to make sure they have individual goals, so definitely not do that. What you think, lady?
Well, you meet somebody, you're attracted to someone, and someone's attracted to you based on the things that you do in your life. So it's good to say, well, all right, he likes to do poetry, so I'll go to a poetry show and support, which in my case with the guy that I'm currently dating now, we're both poets, so that works out quite well, and we give each other support. But let's say someone likes to bowl and I don't. I'll try it out just because it gives us a chance to bond, and it's outside of the movie theater. Different.
You can talk.
You can talk while you bowl. You can give each other encouragement, and that's another thing.
Bowling is competitive too.
Yes, it
I'm the
is.
complete opposite.
you're
I'm
like,
talking noise.
oh, me too. That's what I'm saying.
Ain't
I
no
love
encouragement.
right. That's the
fun part.
competitive part. I like.
Like,
I
all
like
right,
stuff like
GB.
that.
What GB stands for? Gutter ball. Just teasing. You know, that's the fun part about being together. So, yeah, definitely be able to give new things a chance in your relationship. Some things that you don't do if you never thought of doing. I ain't going hiking. The way my fat set up. but yeah, just be open and receptive to new things to keep the relationship going.
Yeah, definitely. What you think, Kasey?
Oh, pretty much just echo what y'all saying. Just if it's something that you like, don't put it on the back burner just because they don't like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But because you never know what they may end up liking. They may not like it at first, but they be like, "Hey, remember when we went to that concert? I wouldn't mind going again. It wasn't that bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
You know, you might open their eyes into something new.
Yeah,
that way, there you got a new bonding experience.
Exactly. Sir?
No, I'm actually going to go to the opposite. I'm a pessimist, so I have to go to the other end of the spectrum real quick. But with that being said, don't be overly enthused in impressing this person. Like, if it's something that you're not into, it's something that you're not into. Like, that's be perfectly fine. I've met someone before who was like, well, you like it, so I'm gonna be about it. No, you hate it. I'm not gonna make you like it because you hate it.
And I need you to continue to hate it because I don't want you to ruin it for me.
Yeah, like it's nothing sucks worse than being passionate about something and the person next to you who's there with you, you're supposed to be connecting on the same level, and they just like, I'm just here. I'm just here. That sucks.
I'm just
like,
here so I don't get
that
fired.
ruins my good time. Like, if I'd rather for you not to be there, you go do your own thing, and I really enjoy this crappy, wonderful thing that I enjoy, rather than you trying to, disingenuous. You have the right intentions, but baby, if you don't like it, that's cool.
Right.
That is
Yeah,
perfectly
hurt my
cool.
feelings.
Don't be like the princess. Whatever you like.
That was exactly what I told him.
I like whatever you
I like whatever you like.
Yeah, bro, that is horrible.
It is.
Don't like it. No.
Like, come on, bro.
No. I don't think, I think for me, I'm a sports fanatic. A lot of women are not sports fanatics. A lot of guys don't like to watch sports with women. I need a guy who is not going to be afraid to watch sports with me. I'm competitive. I am. You could like Alabama all day. I'm still an Auburn fan forever.
For you.
But I'm very competitive. I love sports. So whoever my guy is, he can't tell me, well, I don't want to watch sports with you. Well, you can tell me that, but you're going to have to go to your friend's house or somewhere else to go to the bar, wherever you got to go. Because I'm going to watch sports. I'm going to watch. I'm a football fan. I think this year I'm going to become a basketball fan this year because got a little interesting with LeBron going to LA, and DeMarcus going to Golden State. That kind of got a little interesting for me, So I'm like, I might get back into basketball, but I'm a sports fanatic. So whoever my mate is, pay attention, mate. Make sure you're listening.
Take notes.
Yeah, take notes. I'm telling you, you better take notes because I'm all for a man listening and paying attention. Because if you listen to a woman, she's gonna tell you everything she like and what she don't like. So men, make sure you listen because that's gonna help you plan your dates, plan how how to pursue this woman. She is giving you the nuggets to do that. So make sure she's giving you the blueprint exactly. So all you got to do is pay attention, and women do the same because men do that too. They do it not knowing. But
Can I
they do the
interject
same
here?
too.
I feel like there's a certain bias with that sometimes. I feel like a lot of women feel like they can just glance over when we finally open up what we like about it. I feel like it can be glanced over because we're a guy. I feel like if we're giving you our full attention, we expect the same. Like if I'm telling you my life story, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see you scrolling through your
I
phone.
hate that.
No. I have cut off a date and asked for a check because of that.
I don't blame you.
Because I'm not finna talk to the
Put
back
your
of
phone
somebody's
away.
eyelids.
Yeah.
Put your phone away. When you're
So-
on a date, I think your focus needs to be your date.
Yeah, like I understand, and like I said before, I
Not
understand
you boring
if
the
you
hell
got
out of me.
That's a whole nother
honestly, before you even go on that date, you need to have that conversation. Like,
Yeah.
you need to be at a point where, okay, I know this person doesn't like this thing, so I'm not going to talk about that. Like, you have to kind of you got to do the preliminary stuff at first. Oh yeah, I feel you. That's my joint too. But just if you want that 100%, you got to put out 100%. That's all I'm saying. So,
Absolutely.
I even posted the other day. I said, man, I want to be on a date so good that we both forget that we got our phones.
Yeah.
I've been on one of those. It was nice.
I have not.
8 missed calls,
I haven't been on a date.
text
Look, I ain't
messages.
been on a date in so long, so I don't know. But I
I
have
didn't even
not.
know what time
It's
it
real.
was. It was nice.
Have you ever been at a restaurant or something so long that they're closing and you ain't realizing?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's
Probably
a
in
good
high
day.
school.
No, man, I've had that once. Like just sitting there at the bar, wasn't even technically a date. We just met up just to sit there and talk, and the conversation got so real. 3 hours flew by, still talking like nothing.
I want that. You know, a lot of people don't know how to hold conversations now. They don't know how to keep the conversation going. And I think that's what annoys me when it comes to these guys that are in my inbox that always what I'm doing me to death and hey beautiful me to death.
Women do the same thing.
They don't know how to keep the conversation going, and it's always hey beautiful, what you doing? Hi, I'm not doing anything. What are you doing? Then after that, the conversation is dead, and then they come back again. Hey, beautiful, what you doing?
Did you see that
I'm
cartoon that came out a few weeks back on Facebook where they were on the date and the guy would just literally vanish out of the chair and then he would just come back? That's how it is.
Yeah.
One guy said, ladies, is it really that bad? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, like I need you to be able to keep the conversation going. I need you to you know I like to talk about anything. I hate talking about politics, but I mean I talk about it, but I don't really like to engage in political conversation. But I can talk about anything. I'm telling you, I'll talk. I'm a talker.
On the other spectrum of it, men hate when we're talking to you and we're trying to get to know you. We're trying to probe you, and you don't know nothing about yourself. Like a date is you selling yourself.
It is.
If I ask you what your interests are and you say I don't know,
That's a
Man.
problem.
what are we about to talk about?
Man,
Major
So what do you do for fun? I don't know. I'm kind of boring. So what's boring to you? I don't know. What?
Baby, how old are you?
Are you 6?
How old are you, sugar?
Where your mama?
By the time you've reached the adulthood, you should know all
Like,
that.
and that's what I don't understand. Like, is it that you don't know how to project what you like, or are you afraid to project what you like? Because you've been you for 20-something years. Hopefully, if it's going you dating somebody like this, 20-something
right.
years, you have to know what you are. Are you
Right.
that fake?
Right.
Are people really blank slates out here?
Some of them are, unfortunately.
That is
Really?
terrifying.
That is.
I
mean,
really do believe in that. They just don't know. They haven't done anything. They haven't experienced anything. They're putting on a facade, and when it comes to really being real, they're speechless and clueless.
that's so crazy.
I can talk all day and night. I've been through some things. I've experienced some things. I've tried some things. I've turned down some things. But I've got a conversation for just about any and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is why I wanted to be here.
I know. So
We're happy.
excited. Yeah, and then I was
We finally got some women on the show.
Yes,
I'm throwing
yes,
shade.
yes,
We
yes,
finally got it back.
yes. I'm
Yes.
not the only female today.
Yes.
Yes, but I mean, I've had fun talking with the guys before, but having females and having that female perspective, all females don't, are not in agreement with what I say, but there are females that have different opinions, and we want the female aspect of the show. We always have guys on here, always, but as far as having females, we rarely get that. We rarely get that. Guys, y'all touched on something, and I was like, oh man, we need to talk about that. But I do want to talk about vibes and body language and conversation when you're out on a date or when you're getting to know somebody. I am a firm believer in vibes and energy. If your energy is not good, 9 times out of 10 it's not gonna work for me. Which is why so many guys be like, well, this one guy, for instance, he was like, I'm gonna hook you up with my friend. I'm like,
I'm so afraid
he
of
was
those.
like, y'all are gonna work out. Y'all are gonna
I'm
work
so
out.
afraid of those.
This dude inboxed me or, asking me my phone number, and I gave it to him, which I'm not giving out my phone number as much now. I'd rather you inbox me on Facebook before I kind of get to know you before I give my phone number out. But he inboxed me and he was like, how you doing, blah blah blah. The conversation was going good, and I was like, I think I asked him maybe what he was doing, and the next picture that pops up is a dick pic.
Dang.
This is actually a thing.
It is
I know,
a thing.
coming from a guy, we're shocked.
Terrible.
This is actually a thing. This
So
is-
like the
This
conversation,
is common.
the hey, how you doing? Hey, beautiful, blah blah blah. That just made you hard. I mean, I'm just saying, you just stood up right from that. Like, I'm not interested. At that point, I really, really lost interest. And the vibe I got from you was, you're more interested probably in sex because you don't know anything about me.
Probably.
Your energy is off.
Already.
Your energy is off.
Side yet.
Yeah, like
Let me say this. Guys, showing us a picture of your penis does not make us say, oh yeah, I want to get with that.
right.
It don't work like that. It does not. That should be the last thing we see once we start to talk from the beginning.
Yeah.
That is not the decision maker. It's not. You know how many penises we've seen?
I've seen penises, all shapes, all sizes.
They all start to look alike. Yours
Yeah.
ain't nothing
Ain't
special
nothing.
from the last one I got in my inbox yesterday, or the one I got on Instagram the day before, or the one I got on Tumblr this morning.
Tumblr is something serious, bro.
Sweet.
Tumblr
I'm not
is
on
basically
Tumblr.
porn now, bro.
I'm not on Tumblr.
Okay, yeah, I admit it. I'm on Tumblr. So what? So yes, it is not a deal maker. It is more of a deal breaker. You can't show me your mind. I definitely don't want to see what your penis look like.
That is very important. I want to see your mind first.
Let me see
I need to
mind.
know what your energy is like. I need to know what you think. I need to know how your conversation is gonna go. I don't want to see your penis. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've seen tons.
Seen enough.
I'm 38, so I've seen tons.
It would work with a woman. It'll work with somebody who's lesser of a woman.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Right.
'cause he probably did it before because it probably
Yeah.
worked on
It
somebody.
probably worked.
Because you know how sometimes we'll be somewhere and it'll be like some dumb rule like, do not, cross the train when the red light is on. Be like, why would somebody do that?
Because
Guess what?
somebody
Because
did it.
somebody did it.
Right. Exactly. But the next question I got from that guy's friend was, well, why didn't it work out with you and your friend? So have you talked to your friend? Did you know your friend sent me a penis pic?
Oh, you gonna tell him that?
I'm just saying. So
no.
it's not gonna work for me.
They're gonna lie.
It's gonna be some kind of different
Man.
story.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling her. She wasn't trying to be by name. Wasn't trying to be about that penis picture.
Right. But he wound up in a relationship with another one of my Facebook friends, so it must have worked for somebody.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me. Yeah, that didn't work for me. But I'm a firm believer in energy and vibes. Chemistry is very important to me. If I feel chemistry, if the energy is right, a lot of times the other person doesn't feel it, but I may feel it. Even if I feel it and then I still don't feel it, they don't feel it, then I kind of can release it. But the connection has to come from both parties.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think on vibes and body language and chemistry, energy?
I think vibe can be a two-way street. It can be a sense of catharsis sometimes. Like you're like, finally somebody gets where I'm coming from or something.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with that, because I've had this, not trying to post, I've had this experience with you where it can be overwhelmingly positive. Where you're like, whoa, that's scary.
Right.
To have this much in common this quick.
Oh yeah.
It is fun, but it's scary. Let's slow down just in case. Let's
You're leery.
I would have been
Based on what you've experienced in the past, you're like, wow, so
this really happens?
That Facebook post where it says one day somebody's gonna feel what you're putting out there, and then when it actually happens, you looking in the mirror like, wait a minute, hold up, did this really work this time?
Exactly.
And that's where I'm at right now in this current relationship. It is just, it's uncanny how everything has, sprung forward so quickly. I'm like, hey, you really do like me, don't you? He was like, yes, idiot. Okay. Okay, just checking. I just checking. Yeah. Hey, you want to be in that kind of situation. Matter of fact, you sent me something on Tumblr earlier. I have to watch later.
That's hilarious. For several reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want that connection. I want that energy. I want it to, be that type of connection and be that type of vibe where we just feel each other.
But will you receive it though when you get it?
That's the key. That
everybody
is a different
doesn't.
thing. Exactly.
Everybody doesn't. And I think the place I am in life now, I will, but everybody is not in that same place. So
you want to know what I think it is a vibe is something you can't control.
Right.
You just pick up on the antennas, kind of just get it. And like I said, when it's overwhelmingly positive, it just might be one of those 1 in a million situations that you like, is this too good to be true? Is this really too good to be true? It's like getting that golden ticket for Willy Wonka. You like, is this real?
Yeah.
right.
So I totally understand, but I feel like if you are pursuing it, you have to be prepared to accept it. Because you do not want to throw that ticket away
Right.
and somebody else get it. And
Which is where I've been in the past. Because of past hurt and because of, where I am in life now. The self-evaluation is very important. We touch on this, I think, every show.
Every single time.
Getting to know yourself, and I had to take time to do that. Because past relationships, past hurt, and I think that's why I've been single for so long now. Because when you have gone through so much in life, sometimes you do have to take a step back and say, okay, let me face this man in the mirror. Let me face who I am. Then everybody else can get to know the new me. But let me face who I am right now and really face the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because there is ugly and there is bad in all of us. We all have something that were a contributing factor to something in previous relationships, whether we ended it or not, or whether it was our fault or not, but there was something in us. So what is it in me that was the factor? Let me look at me, because the other person wasn't always that bad. We all come to the table with something. So what is it in me that was bad? So when I took that year to face who I was, horrible year for me. There were many tears shed. I was angry because I felt like at that point I missed out on so much because so much had passed over me. Now there are some things that God does not mean for it to happen, but there are some people that I overlooked because they were the nice guy. You know what I'm saying? And overlooking the nice guy because I'm with this bad guy. And I'm loving the way this bad guy whole situation is feeling. Not that it was good for me, but I overlooked the nice guy because he wasn't what I was looking for at that time. But now I'm in a place now. I'm 38 years old, and being 38 and having a total of 5 relationships, real relationships, but there were many guys. I have experienced a lot. And at 38, I'm ready to now say, okay, now I'm waiting on for real, not Boaz, because Boaz wasn't for me. Everybody want a Boaz. He was for Ruth, but Boaz wasn't for me. I'm just saying. I ain't waiting on Boaz, but shoot, somebody close enough. Somebody close enough to do. I'm just saying. But I'm waiting on who God has for me. Somebody who we can grow together, because we're going to continue to grow. You grow throughout life. I'm waiting on that guy who going to introduce me to new stuff, and I'm going to introduce him to stuff. We're going to be on that same page. So to answer your question, am I ready to receive him? Absolutely. Now. You know, I'm in a place now I can be ready to receive him. Before I wasn't in that place.
It's happening in a couple of weeks now.
Hey,
I'm about to say, 'cause
hey,
you really don't have a chance to prepare.
hey,
Like, that's the
whatever.
thing.
If he come when we walk out this door,
Man, look,
I'm ready to receive
Cuz,
that
let me tell
person.
you
All right,
something.
now.
I'm
You
putting it
may
out there in the
be
atmosphere.
going to your car to check the mail in some holy sweatpants, having a bun,
That's the best
and a
time to
piece of
meet
snot
me.
coming out your nose.
When they
That's
show
the best
up.
time to meet me. That's the best time to meet me.
And he
Not
gonna hit
when
you
you
with
done
that.
took
And you, I'm gonna tell you something else. You have to be humble too, because not everybody's being smart or is after something. Because he might see you at your worst state and say something as simple as "Hello, beautiful," and he may be genuine, but because you don't feel like he's being genuine, because you're being self-doubtful about your opinions or something you feel is not adequate enough, you may turn him completely off.
Right.
I think I'm
You
beautiful
shot
all
yourself in the
time.
foot.
No, you ain't playing. Be serious with that shit.
I do think I'm beautiful all the time, y'all. I'm telling you. Now, makeup or no makeup, I think I make that post on Facebook quite often because I try to remind people, and I see so many women, you know, doubting themselves and downing themselves. I'm beautiful with or without makeup. I'm not going to do no whole makeup tutorial. I'm not going to do all that. I may not even wear makeup every day. No, I don't wear makeup every day. Let me say that. I may wear my hair straight. I may wear it curly. I may put a scarf on. I may, whatever I do, it doesn't matter. Because my beauty doesn't radiate from this. It's not this shell. My beauty comes from within. So if you are, again, once you do that self-evaluation and you know where your beauty comes from, that you can tell me I'm beautiful all day long. So what else you want?
It's a
I'm
lot
beautiful.
of
I know. Thank you.
ugly on the
Say thank
inside,
you.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ugly.
But guys, I do agree. You do have to be ready to receive that. And I put it out there in the atmosphere because I know that's where I am. I know I'm in a place now that I'm ready to receive it. I've had a rough month this past month, but God has placed me in a place now that the chips have fallen where they may, and I'm happy that the chips have fallen, and that the chips have chipped off, because in order for me to get to the next level, those chips had to fall off. So I'm ready. All right, y'all, I'm ready. We didn't touch on this, but we do want to kind of touch on the LGBTQ alphabets. I'm gonna touch on it really briefly, but I want to go into it by saying, have you guys ever watched The Fosters? Have y'all ever heard of The Fosters?
I've never heard of it.
Oh my gosh. The Fosters is a sitcom that I've been watching on Netflix. I'm not sure if it even comes on regular TV or not. But I know it's on Netflix. If you have Netflix. They're this gay couple, lesbian couple, sorry, that have adopted all these foster kids. It's a home full of love. Looking at the show, these two women have a lot of love to give to these people. One is spiritual, the other one is not. The couple. So it kind of touches on everything that we kind of talked about on here. One is a school principal, one is, a police officer, and they have adopted about, I think it's like maybe 6 or 8 kids. It's a lot of kids. It's a lot of them. I think it's six kids. And the one that's the police officer, she actually had a child of her own. But we see so much of the lesbians, the gays, the bisexuals, the trans, and queer. Is it queer? I think Q is queer. I don't know what the difference is between queer and gay. I don't know what the difference is. I know the difference between all the rest of them, but I don't know the difference between being a queer and being gay. I don't know what that is. But I'm mentioning this because it's frowned upon in society. I don't want to go too far into it because we can kind of get in trouble for, our views, or we can kind of, touch. It's a very touchy subject.
Right.
But when you think about the LGBTQ community, what comes to mind when it comes to dating when you think about it?
I think they're a lot more free-spirited when it comes to dating.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to be on the outside looking in on that particular lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I have a former coworker who tells me about that whole lifestyle in Atlanta, and how there's certain districts where you can go and you can meet people and do whatever you want, and there's no judgment. I think they're a lot more freer, and they enjoy themselves. That's kind of something that I would like to take, being heterosexual, to be free and not worry or care about what other people think about the relationships that you have. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
They're a lot more freer. Have that I don't give a what attitude about it.
Yeah, they have the I don't give a damn. I mean, I have family members who are part of the LG community. Mm-hmm. Maybe the LGB. I don't know. I know for sure I have the LG, but
Make it sound like a TV.
because I keep looking at the alphabets like.
No, I just say the community.
Yeah.
Because it's so. Honestly, it feels like another letter is added that I have to research
I
and
think
then
it's
do the
probably going to
differences
be
between.
eventually. I think it is another
I don't want
letter.
to step on nobody's toes and say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get crucified. And,
Right. That community and talking about that, there is frowned upon on so many different aspects of I guess so many different aspects of life, period, because they are now coming out and the kids are getting younger and younger. Whatever their lifestyle is their lifestyle. I can't say that, whatever I disagree with how they're living. That's them. Mm-hmm. If you choose to live that lifestyle, that's your choice.
Right.
I'm not gonna infringe upon that, but I will say, is it my choice? Absolutely not. Have I been approached by lesbians? Absolutely. I don't live that lifestyle. I don't care to know what you're doing to get in that lifestyle. I don't. So if you guys y'all have anything else y'all want to add about that particular?
I would love to get someone from the community on the show. Mm-hmm. That's why I brought it up, because like I said, I try to have every aspect of dating present, because I'm genuinely curious to what they experience, because they have their own struggles and own triumphs and things. For me, I won't even call it a gripe. I feel like it's a little, what's the word? I don't want to say like a two-edged sword, or it's the situation where if I'm asked about my preference and if I disagree, I need that same respect that I give you to have your own preference. Mm-hmm. The reason I bring that up is because I saw something with Genuine. He was on like Big Brother or something, and there was a transgender woman, and he was like, would you date a transgender woman? And he was like, no. And everybody came down on him. I'm like,
but that's his preference.
Exactly.
He's heterosexual male who prefers natural women, who were born women.
Why are you mad?
You have a preference as well. Why is that an issue?
Right.
That's what I have a problem with.
Your
I
choice.
want to have that conversation to relay that not everybody is out to get you or is after you. Honestly, you happy. Go be happy. You found somebody you love. They just may have the same parts as you, or maybe least to own, or however it may work. I'm sorry, I'm just picking at y'all. And listen.
And please come with a sense of humor.
Yes.
If I could joke on somebody being straight, I can joke on somebody being gay. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. Like, if you really want to be open to the conversation, be open to every conversation. Because I'm pretty sure that people feel like there's a barrier between us because sometimes you may make it awkward. I may be fine with it. Like, everybody knows somebody who gay.
Everybody.
You might have that cousin that you like, yeah, you gay, you just ain't saying it.
Right.
I have plenty.
It's perfectly fine. Do what you do. Wash my shoes. Just if I want to have the conversation with
Watch my
you,
shoes.
my intention is not to be disrespectful. My intention is to gain education from you,
Right.
just like I want you to educate me. Like, respect and education go hand in hand with us. It's the only way we're gonna thrive. Like I said, I may not agree. That's perfectly fine. Shoot, I may like vanilla ice cream. You may not like vanilla ice cream.
Right.
I'm not gonna hate you for it.
Right. But
That doesn't give you the right to bash me
come.
about it. That's all I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's a two-way street.
respect everyone's opinion.
Yeah, man. So if
If
you
you
out
want
there,
us to respect you, you gotta respect. You know,
Definitely.
you gotta
Exactly.
respect that. So, I don't have anything else. We want to close out with Lady reciting her poem, and then we'll close out the show. But if you guys have anything else you guys want to say before we close out, if y'all have any closing words.
Definitely enjoyed myself.
Awesome!
Definitely.
So
So glad to be
glad.
here.
Don't let
I
this
feel
be my
like I
last
should write
time.
me a poem. Recited on the show.
That's right. Write you a poem, girl. Come back and recite
May
your
not
poem on
rhyme
the
and
show.
stuff, but it's
That's right.
I
That's
think any
right.
of my poetry rhymes. I just,
honestly, and that's the other thing. If you want to submit poetry to be on the channel, let me know. Get with you, do the recording, get it up there as soon as possible.
Yeah.
okay.
We'll
Y'all know.
definitely
Get up with
do
me.
that. And also, before she reads, we also do the quick business minute that we have
Absolutely.
on our show as well. If you know business owners that want to, talk about their business and how they got started or how they can help others get started, we're definitely open to having them on as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna hear a poem from Miss Lady. Lady, get your ears ready because I'm ready for this one too. These are both great, amazing. I'm not gonna say great. They're amazing writers, guys. They are. All right, Lady, let's hear it.
Okay, so here we go. I'm head over heels in love, but I'd rather those heels rest on his shoulder blades tonight. The sight of my newly polished toes tickling his earlobe sets the tone. The giggles he incite can't be denied as he pinches my cheeks and calls me his pretty lady. I desire his skin upon mine, like there is no beginning or end. We are one flesh, one beat of heart. I want to be all up under him while losing my lipstick and squeezing him tight, marking my territory. Look into my eyes, and you will see a fire burning, powered by cosmic emotion and undying memories. He is my doctor, and his dick and mouthpiece are my prescriptions with infinity refills. I never keep the cap on the bottles for too long because my body is always in need of medication. When he stares into my eyes as if he's innocent, I ask, like for real, who sent you? He's the only one allowed to come for me. Call it fucking loyalty. Leaving his scent in my sheets long after he's gone, I encapsulate myself like a cocoon and inhale, and catching a contact buzz all over again. Elevator kisses, purple lights and movement, breathlessness, heat, and passion. Dizzy upon destination, he leaves a trailblaze beneath my clothing, and I need to be freed, stripped to nothing except this milk chocolate covering my soul. I lay next to him, bare, raw, vulnerable, and heaving with anticipation. That Dolce & Gabbana splashed on his chest has me feeling some kind of way right now. Some kind of way right now. I need him closer than objects in side view mirrors. Now, on any given Sunday, I'm between tenor and alto. But I'm daddy soprano, bringing forth orgasmic opera like music to his ears and the neighbors. He strokes my notes with every thrust as I gush and constrict upon the conductor's wand. I stay in his shop for frequent tune-ups so my songs ring clear and true. Is any of this getting through to you? There is love and lust, lust and love, a love unlike anything our minds, bodies, and souls have experienced before. See, I thirst for him like sinners in hell begging for ice water and forgiveness. The next drop is much more satisfying than the last, and I haven't had my fill yet. I'm much too greedy to share because this love was in my prayers when nobody even cared to give me the time of day. A new pair of shoes doesn't scream honesty. Flowers don't guarantee faithfulness. Jewelry doesn't keep lines of communication open. Spending absurd amounts of money on dates will never equate to the quality time he gives freely. Y'all can have all that shit on the shelf because I'm over here with these butterfly kisses on my collarbone after a long day at work. Thoughts of hemming up my boss by the roots of her hair all wash away when he smiles. He's my stay out of jail card, and it never expires. He inspires me to be great, and I'm thankful for every day our paths crossing. I must warn him that I'm not going anywhere, and if he packs his shit, then I'm packing mine too. Because life ain't meant to be alone forever. We might as well be alone together. Fall out with me, we just gonna be mad together. With this work, guaranteed he won't stay mad forever. So bring your mad ass over here, Daddy, and tell me all about it. I'm quite certain we can work something out.
Hello.
I need a copy of that. Yes, I need a copy of that. Bring your mad ass over here. Where are you
Because
going?
we ain't going to sleep angry.
We ain't going to sleep angry.
Out.
Bring your mad ass over
Bring your
here.
mad ass over here.
Well, this is your girl Kay Wilk, and we are so thankful to have had Lady, as well as Kasey, as well as Bree on the show today, and we're gonna close out with that. So, sir, you have any final words?
No, I'm blushing over here.
His undertones are showing. This has been 2020 Podcast, and we thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Hello.